Hello and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name is Colette and I'm here today to do a reading, 2020 reading for all the Aquarians out there. I haven't been on my channel for a while, things have been happening, but I really am trying to get back on board and get these tarot readings out as fast as I can now. So I'm going to give you a quick update about how I've laid the cards out today. They've been laid out in a clock, so each number represents a month and there's 2 cards for each month. I think pretty much that's everything. I will just get on with the reading. I may include some astrology in this reading as well. I'm not 100% certain how that will work out at the moment, but we'll see how it goes. So to start off with, this card is at the heart of your reading today, Aquarius, your 2020 reading. It's kind of the overall energy for what's happening. 2 cards came out. This card and this card together. I will talk about this one first. This card absolutely shot out after I'd laid out all the rest of the cards and I asked for a card for the overall reading. This is the card that I got, but it literally like jumped out. It was so quick. And it's the 7 of Pentacles. And 7 of Pentacles in this particular card is saying that there is a dilemma here. A dilemma in the sense that there is something that's being offered to you Aquarians this year. There is something that you're going to have to be aware of, and because you've got the 2 of water or 2 of cups come out with this card as well, it kind of talks to me about how this is something that is going to be offered to you, a relationship, something intimate, something that you have not as of yet maybe started. For some of you this may well be something new, something that's coming in, and this does come out later in your reading as well, but it comes out later in the reversed position. So this could be something that's coming in for some of you Aquarians. It could also be for some of you that you've already been in this. This is something that's come up previously, that you're already involved in a relationship with somebody. Maybe that you are no longer seeing eye to eye with this person, or maybe this person's going to come back and offer you a new opportunity. The Pentacles all down here, but in his hand he has, in her hand she has this 1 pentacle which she's offering to him, and he's standing there, he's got his hand on his chin, so he's kind of thinking about it and he's not sure whether he should take that offering, whether it's something that's going to lead him down the garden path, so to speak, to a dead end, or whether it's something that's going to open up a whole new world for him, and if so, where is it going to take him? But I will say that in this particular story, she is quite important in the sense that she's the daughter of the king, so also it could get him into serious problems with the respect of falling in love with the daughter of the king, because he isn't really of the same status, shall we say. So there could be something to do with that as well, that you may feel that you don't have enough to offer somebody, or that somebody doesn't have enough to offer you. Either way around, because this can also be for cross watchers as well. And it doesn't, again, the energy is the issue here rather than the actual gender. It doesn't have to be masculine or feminine. I'm just reading the cards as the cards. And these are the Greek mythic, so it's kind of very much based in the masculine and the feminine energies there. Which, of course, as we know, can be either man or woman. We all have both within us. So that's your overall energies, Aquarius, as you start 2020. And January starts off for you with the Two of Pentacles, which is saying to me that there's something here, something that you're working on, but something that you're not necessarily happy about. Maybe a job that you feel that you've kind of reached, or you're starting something new maybe, but you're not particularly wanting to do it. And the reason I say that is because the card that came out with this energy, the card that is kind of clarifying this, if you like, is the Six of Air. And the Six of Air is all about moving away from something. It's about leaving something behind, something that you're no longer attached to. Something that you want to move into calmer waters. You want to move into a new future with the Six of Air. It's talking about moving away, finding something different. And maybe that's what this Two of Pentacles is saying as well. It is a new energy in the sense that it's a two. It comes after the Ace. And usually if it's up this way, it would say to me that you're kind of gathering all your tools together and you're starting something fresh. There's a new feeling of excitement in many ways in the air. That you're quite encouraged by what you're doing. But because it's up, side down, it's in reverse, it's saying to me that there's a feeling of almost like, oh, not again. Do I really have to keep doing this? That's the energy that I'm feeling here, is just this kind of, oh, I don't want to keep doing this. And so with the Six of Air, it's kind of saying to me that there's going to be a moving away from that situation. Yeah. Leaving something behind. Because it's air as well, it's to do with the mental realm too. So it's something that's kind of keeps you mentally, I would say, it's not allowing you to really use all your intelligence in some ways, or your kind of like, you know, like it's holding you back from really being able to showcase in some ways everything that you are. That's the feeling that I'm getting from this card. That there's a lot more to you than just this, whatever this may be. It could be a work situation, it could be a friendship situation, it could be a relationship, because we also have to work on relationships as well. But it's something very much in the physical realm. But something that's kind of stopping you from really I just get the feeling of really being able to be who you are, in the sense of like you have to hold back on how much you actually know and understand about things. Almost like you have to kind of stifle your own understanding in order to fit in. And you're not wanting to do that anymore. You're wanting to kind of unfurl all these sails, if you like, and kind of really set yourself free. That's the impression I'm getting from this card here, from these two cards. So that's in January. I'm feeling of you moving on from something which has kind of kept you in the same place for quite some time. And it may be something that you've been doing for quite a long time, but it feels like it's just the same old thing over and over again. And there's no freshness there. There's nothing new for you. So in February, Aquarius, you have the Eight of Pentacles. So you literally jump from the Two of Pentacles and the Six of Air, which I feel is kind of you moving away from this energy into this energy. In February, you're feeling like you're back on your feet. You're standing on ground that you know. I feel as well with this card that it can often be something that you've tried in the past, but it hasn't necessarily worked out for you. So it's something that you've already kind of mastered, but something that you've not done much about. It could also be to do with starting up a business, creating something for yourself, standing at your own table. But each of these pentacles down here kind of reflects the past situations of what you've kind of tried to create, but it hasn't worked for you. So now you're kind of sifting through all these and finding the resources that are going to help you through with this, because I do think that you are going to move on, Aquarius. I do feel very strongly that there's something that's going to be shifting you. And I think with this card here, with the Six of Water, this is going to be something that's something that you've wanted to do for a long time. There's a kind of yearning in this card, a kind of, if you look very closely, I don't know if you can see it in this reflection, if you look very closely, there's an image of her down here, but the image of her is as a child. It's the child in her that she's kind of lost. And there's this kind of, she's clutching her stomach. It's almost like a yearning, like a, I really want that. I really yearn for that. I really, you know, it's like I remember how good it was. And so for me, it's kind of saying that there's this, just move that light a wee bit, it's a wee bit glary. And there's a kind of feeling of this being to do with something from your past, something that you really wanted to do when you were younger, but it kind of got pushed to the side. It kind of got maybe told that you know, don't be stupid. It's not particularly what's the word I'm looking for? It's not something that's going to be beneficial for you. It's not something that, you know, it's kind of a childhood dream, shall we say, just a childhood dream. And then you have to kind of grow up and fit in. We have to fit ourselves in to this kind of world that has been created around us in order to kind of, you know, pay the bills. And I think that's what this is about as well, is kind of paying the bills and just keeping yourself established in the real world, just kind of the mundane everyday things that we have to do. But this is talking to me much more about you fitting in with what you want to do here, Aquarius, rather than fitting in with what you feel that you've always had to do. This is a kind of awakening to your own abilities, your own capabilities, and bringing it into the real world. Because it's Pentacles, it's very much the physical. It's about the real world. And as we move from February into March, we find the Ten of Pentacles. which is saying to me, I mean, it's a huge leap from the 2 to the 8 and now the 10, but I just get this feeling that you're feeling much more content. Much more content. You've really finally kind of found where you should be, and you're feeling satisfied with what you're doing and who you are and what you're creating. Because this card is about legacy, it is about family, it is about ancestors as well. If you see here, he's got a baby in his arms, and he's kind of like, this is the family unit. He's kind of got there, he's got what he wanted, he's achieved his dream. But this could just be to do with kind of we have the Queen of Fire come out with this as well, which is such a beautiful card. And for me, this is about your heart's desire. Because literally, if you see here, she's holding this candle, but behind the candle, her heart has been lit up. So it's like your creative passion has created this here. This is your dream. This is your vision. This is what you have kind of kept in your heart, close to your heart, for a long time. Since your childhood, I feel quite strongly that this has been something that's been there all that time. But in March, you're kind of really getting to the point where you're going to really create it. Really create it, really make it happen. And whether that is to do with a family unit, could be for some of you Aquarians out there. You're finally feeling as though you've found where you want to be. And that I just get this feeling that there's a real contentment here in whatever field it is, whether it's to do with family, whether it's to do with work. But there is just this real kind of, your heart's passion, your heart's desire is finally being acknowledged. So that's a lot of pentacles in the first 3 months. And as we move into April, we have the 6 of Cups, but the 6 of Cups is upside down. And we have the 6 of Cups here as well. She came out earlier. It is about nostalgia. It is about kind of looking back on the past. And you could find, because with the 10 of Pentacles, being a 10, it is a kind of ending of something. 10s mean you've kind of succeeded, it's completion, it's time to kind of look around and start again, if you like. Time to yeah, time to let that that cycle come to a close. And that's something that we find quite difficult to do, I think, as humans. We kind of want to hold on to what we've achieved because we believe that that's the pinnacle, if you like, the pinnacle of where we're meant to be and what we're meant to be doing. But with this card here, with the 6 of Cups, you also have, actually the 6 of Cups was not in reverse. The 6 of Cups was up the right way, but the Justice card was in reverse. So the 6 of Cups, again, is nostalgia. And maybe you'll find that you will be kind of looking back at things in a kind of nostalgic way, as you have to kind of let something be and move forward. There is this yearning, this cup here that she holds in her hand is the one that she's kind of looking into now in the present. In March, you may find, sorry, April, you may find that you are going to be feeling nostalgic. Feeling like maybe you left something in the past that you want to bring into the present. But there is also with this card a feeling of not just melancholy, but also a feeling that somehow you can't change the past. What's happened has happened. But what you can do is change what is yet to come. So it may be that you want to kind of, after you get to the Ten of Pentacles, that you realise that, you know, that's kind of the pinnacle of where you're at. You are really happy and you've met your heart's desire. And now you're kind of looking back with this understanding, even that you had to go through all of this to get to where you are. That even though, yeah, because you've got the Justice card in reverse here as well. So even though there may have been times where things seemed unjust and the whole kind of world may have seemed to have been against you and like nothing seemed to go in your favour and things really were difficult, I feel as though there's going to be this understanding. You're going to come to this understanding that had you not gone through all of this and had you not experienced these injustices and these unfair situations in your life, you wouldn't have reached this. You wouldn't have got to this. So it's almost like there's going to be a kind of inner understanding here, which I think with this Six of Cups here as well, this kind of realization that the journey that you've been on so far was absolutely necessary, even if it was painful. Even, like I say, if you did have to leave things in your past in order to be able to move forward. With this Six of Air here as well, is moving away from things that you might not necessarily have wanted to leave behind. But I get more the feeling that you were you'd reached a point where you knew you had to. You reached a point where you realised that you couldn't stay in the same place. You had to move past it. You had to go beyond it. So, by the time we get to May, you're in a situation of looking for a new adventure, a new challenge, something else. You are now wanting to find a new journey. There's something that you want to put your time and your energy and your effort into. With the King of Water coming out here as well. The King of Water being a very compassionate, very understanding energy. This is very dynamic, this energy. Fire, it's creativity. It's like this boat here is your kind of new experience, shall we say, your new challenge, your new journey, your new adventure, and you're standing here and you're kind of ready, you've prepared yourself, you've got all these people around you who are going to move with you on this journey. But this boat is just kind of sitting there, so it's up to you to take up that challenge. And with the King of Water, the thing about this card for me is how welcoming he is to this little fish here. It's like nothing is too small. Nothing is disregarded. And I think that there's elements of that within this, within these two cards. A kind of, it could be, Aquarius, that you're going to what am I getting here? But your journey ahead, your new challenge and your new adventure is very much about finding this energy within yourself. Like really opening up to accepting all things kind of great and small. But for some reason I get the small in particular, like really kind of focusing your attention. And I don't think it's about detail so much as it is about I don't know why I'm getting this, but it kind of, I'm getting this feeling to do with compassion towards all creatures. Like really wanting to kind of take care of all things. Yeah, you may find that you turn, that your interests become I just keep getting the word small, and I don't know why I keep getting the word small, but small things. I don't know whether that's to do with children or babies or, but small things. I think that, yeah, it's just something about the way that he's kind of, his hand is held out and he's kind of welcoming this little fish in with complete tenderness and care and love. And the look on his face as well. The look on his face is kind of saying, you know, don't see yourself as insignificant. Maybe that's part of the message as well here, is don't see yourself as insignificant because you are just as important to me. And it's kind of like saying, you know, how magnificent are you? And maybe that's part of this message, is that you are kind of ready for this new journey to find your kind of magnificence, shall we say. Because the journey, this adventure, is going to be full of many kind of trials and tribulations. Because they always are new adventures. And interestingly enough, when we move into June, we have the card of looking after and nurturing. And I think that's got something to do with this here as well. And I just get the feeling that it's to do with small people. Maybe it is to do with children. because the Page of Cups is about healing the child within. And we saw that earlier with this Six of Cups as well, this child within. The childhood, looking back, and you've got that, the Six of Cups twice, that kind of child, nostalgic childhood energy. And so the Page of Cups talks to me about that. The need to look within yourself and heal yourself. These trees here for me always kind of represent protection. The way they lean over towards each other, and it's kind of a really secluded kind of protective space that you're in, and you're healing something within yourself. And you did have the Three of Earth come out with this card as well. This energy often talks about, in most tarots, it talks about teamwork. In this particular deck, I see it more as looking towards the future. And you also have this card here, the Adventure, the future, what's coming in. And there she is, she's kind of got her hand over her eyes, and she's kind of looking out as if to say, what's coming, what can I see, what's on my horizon, what's coming in. But because it's in reverse, I kind of get the feeling that this is about you having to go within first. This healing needs to take place on some level. Maybe also, again, something to do with children. Or maybe something to do with your own childhood. Time of healing something from your past. Or maybe even helping others heal something from their past as well, Aquarius. Maybe you're going to get involved with helping those that have become stuck in their past as well. Those that can't move forward, those that have had trauma maybe, who need to look beyond, but they can't because they're stuck. There's a very kind of, if you see here, it's almost like she's become part of the earth. She's become kind of like a statue almost. Maybe also frozen. Frozen in time. Not being able to move beyond a certain place. But I don't get the feeling that this is so much about you, Aquarius, and your energy more, although it could be for some of you, but I feel somehow that this is more about you helping somebody else in this particular situation. And I think that's what this is about as well, this King of Water, kind of opening your arms to somebody, maybe more than just one person. So that's the energy that I have around for you in May. And as we move into June, we have the Hermit energy, which is kind of similar in some ways to this Three of Earth here as well. Another interesting thing about this card is, I don't know if you can see it with this light, but there is butterflies here as well, which are also very transformative. And there is a need here, something, and this card is reminding me quite strongly of this card as well. Almost like being wrapped in the past, like cocooned, like a chrysalis, like something's not ready to reveal itself, like something needs to be slowly nurtured and brought out and healed, and because you have the Hermit energy as you move into July. And so this could have something to do with counselling as well. Maybe you're going to be going into counselling. Maybe some of you Aquarians are going to become counsellors, or are going to be working with people with trauma. I just get this kind of feeling to do with that, because we also have the Seven of Air here, and the Seven of Air is in reverse, and it is about keeping things hidden, and that I feel is very much this energy here. But it could be that you having to keep things hidden, or you don't feel in a safe enough situation to be able to reveal these things. And I just get the feeling that somehow Aquarius is going to be working with people in this kind of situation. Or if you are working with people in this kind of situations, these situations where there's a feeling of not being safe enough to reveal who you are, that this may well bring up things from your own childhood as well, that you yourself weren't aware of at the time, has kept you stuck in a certain energy of not being able to move beyond this. Or that realizing, coming to this realization and working through this may bring a feeling of compassion where you yourself want to actually do something for other people in the same way, Aquarius, and move people beyond their shadow, shall we say, beyond their darkness, beyond their fear, because this scythe here is about cutting out what we no longer need in our life, cutting out what no longer works for us in our life. It's also about finding the light within to kind of move us forward, light our path. And the Seven of Air often talks about, because it's Seven of Swords, it's usually to do with somebody kind of clutching swords or walking away, or there's usually a sense of deceit, usually a sense of being lied to, things not being completely as they appear. And I think that if you look here in this card, she kind of has this this mask on. She's wearing this mask. You can probably see it better up the right way. She's wearing this mask and she's trying to kind of fit in with the rest of these birds here, and she's even got these wings here, and she's kind of, to me, she's kind of trying to be something that she isn't. And when it's up this way as well, when it's in reverse, it kind of is saying that that message is quite strong here, that somebody is trying to hide something from themselves, I feel, rather than from anybody else, because it's come out with the Hermit. So I feel that there's an energy of trying to keep something hidden because they're not necessarily ready to become unfrozen here. Although they are looking for change. There is a feeling of looking for change. But I don't get the feelings that that's you so much, Aquarius, as it is somebody that you know, somebody around you, somebody who, yeah, somebody in your kind of group maybe, and maybe somebody's going to open up to you because they feel that they can trust you. And as we move into August, we have the Two of Swords, which is about being in a place where you don't want to be, with these crossed swords. It's about having to make a decision. But if you look here, he's got his hands over his ears. He doesn't want to hear what's going on. His eyes are really tightly shut, so he really does not want to see what's going on. And he would really much rather not be in that situation at all. He'd really much rather not be involved in any way, shape or form. But what it is going to do, this situation, whatever this is, whatever the decision here is about, and because it's swords, it's very much to do with the mental realm, the thinking, the logical, the okay, the swords, because it's mental, because it's mind, it can also have this habit of running away from with us. It can have this habit of kind of making something seem to be worse than it actually is. And it can also, of course, have, you know, has the ability to keep us frozen with fear because we don't want to make a decision. So we become, again, we get that stuck energy. But here, you have the Emperor. And he's kind of dressed in this kind of like armour, I would say. He's got his sword here as well. He's got these kind of gloves, you know, big metal gloves on. And he's kind of ready for battle. He's ready to sort something out. He's ready to kind of say, right, okay, let's do this. Let's take action. Let's take action. That's what I'm getting from this card, this Emperor energy. It's almost like he's the total opposite of this figure here, who doesn't want to look, doesn't want to see. And it's like here, he's kind of awoken. His eyes are wide open and he's staring straight down. I just get the feeling that something here is going to bring out this energy unexpectedly as well, I feel. I feel that this is going to kind of shake the ground beneath the feet of whatever this is about. That the decision that is made here is not going to be a decision that was expected. In this particular card here, he's being forced to choose between his mother and his father, and he does not want to do that. He doesn't want to get involved in either because he knows that taking sides is not going to work out well for him. And so he's behaving in a very kind of weak fashion here, of kind of hiding, trying to hide from it, trying to, again, you know, with the kind of hermit energy here as well, something that's not being expressed, something that's not being recognized. But I feel here that this energy is about finally kind of coming into your power. Finally, not only coming into your power, but also kind of really bringing it out. The situation, whatever this situation is, whether this is to do with the past, whether this is to do with the present, this is the reaction that is going to happen. There's going to be this kind of roar, this lion, this kind of unexpected. It's not so much aggressive as it is kind of just really full of courage, full of courageousness, full of kind of like, right, let's really tackle this. Let's kind of really get to the bottom of this. His sword is pointing down, so he's not feeling like he needs to attack. But I just get the feeling that it's going to shock. I think that's what I'm getting from here, that this is going to shock. Whatever this is about, there's going to be a shock that comes from it. This is unexpected. This lion energy is not expected. This kind of Leo, fire, kind of self-identity, sun energy, kind of really standing in your power. That's just what I keep getting, is standing in your power. No longer hiding, no longer not wanting to face up to this. But kind of being forced out of you in a way. The situation is forcing it out. So in September, we have the Five of Pentacles coming out with the Three of Water. And because of this energy here as well, I feel that this has got something to do with this here. That there's going to be somebody who's going to walk away from something. And it could be yourself, Aquarius, but I don't feel so much that it is. I feel that this is something to do with somebody else who is feeling maybe feeling that they don't belong. That they thought they did, but they don't. With the Three of Water here as well, I always kind of see this as my kind of woe, despair card. It's kind of like something not feeling right, something not fitting in, something not being kind of accepted even, because there's this sense of something being pushed away here as well. And so maybe there is this sense that something is going to have to be removed from your life even. Something that is no longer working for you, something that's no longer advantageous. And that may also have something to do with this Hermit energy as well, because the Major Arcana cards are long-lasting energies. It's not just like that month and then that's it. These are longer lasting energies. The Minor Arcana energies are quite quick and fast moving energies. But when you get a Major Arcana, it's kind of something that's going to have a knock-on effect for a longer period of time. And so I don't feel that this is you, Aquarius. I don't feel that this is your energy that's leaving here. But I think that it's got something to do with this. That somebody is going to be, after this happens, whatever this is, this kind of, I don't even want to say explosion, but there's kind of this standing your ground and standing up for yourself in a way that you haven't done before. And because of it, somebody is going to leave a situation. It could be a home, it could be a work situation. But somebody is going to walk away. And there's a feeling that that's the only thing they can do after whatever it is that comes out. And I feel that something is going to come out as well because of this energy here. And this was also upside down, I do believe. So I feel as though something is going to kind of be let out the bag. And there's just this feeling that this is going to have to move on. That it's no longer accepted. Whatever it was is no longer accepted. And there's a heavy burden here as well. A feeling of a heavy burden. Because she's almost kind of like I feel kind of weighted down with it. And the same here. Kind of weighted down. It's been something that they've had to carry in secret or underhand. Something just not right about this energy, Aquarius. Again, I don't feel this is your energy. I feel more that this is something that you are kind of revealing about somebody else. About maybe that you are finally able to speak the truth about something. And that when you do that, this will be the result. That somebody is going to have to leave a situation. And they're going to leave it in a not particularly pleasant way as well. They are literally going to feel as though they've been thrown out in the cold. That everybody's going to kind of turn their back on them. This is kind of shady energy that I'm feeling here. And I don't know why, but I am. I'm kind of shady, yeah, shady, not honest, kind of something that's been kept covered up and hidden and secret for quite some time, which is going to come out at some point this year. It's going to become more obvious. And one of the reasons I say that as well is because we also have this card here, the Two of Cups, but it's in reverse. And this is coming out in October. And it's coming out with the Seven of Air as well. Sorry, the Ace of Air, not the Seven of Air, the Ace of Air. And I get the feeling that this is about freedom. This is about release. This is about somebody finally feeling as though they're no longer kind of bound to something. Because that's the energy that I get with this card. Usually it kind of represents two people coming together. A kind of initiation of a relationship. But because it's in reverse as well, I get the feeling that this is about something where somebody has had to kind of yeah, something that somebody feels that they've been kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Bound together. Not responsible for so much, but kind of almost like they had to. A feeling of not so much responsibility. What is the feel? What is the energy that? Yeah, bound together. Something that's been binding. Something that's maybe just repeating the same thing over and over again when it comes to relationships. Because in this particular card, Eros here accidentally stabs himself with his own arrow, so he falls in love with Psyche. But because he's immortal, she cannot see him. So their relationship is very one-sided in many ways. And maybe this has got something to do with potential as well, falling in love with potential. And maybe it not always turning out the way you thought it would. But there's a freedom coming from this, I feel. Somebody is kind of escaping from this type of energy. Ace of Air. Usually about truth, seeing through things very clearly, no longer being confused by something. Leaving a situation. I just get the feeling again that this is kind of, but this is more to do with freedom. This is to do with flying. This is to do with kind of riding high, and finally you get this feeling of like, I no longer have to do this. Whatever this means to you, Aquarius, which could be to do with somebody being more honest with their own sexuality. But I just get this feeling of somebody kind of, or Aquarians in general, getting this feeling of like, at last I can leave all that behind. All that meaning maybe just the wrong relationships over and over again. Just this feeling of, again, here we go, down the same path, and not necessarily learning anything from it. But the ace, to me, the Ace of Air is saying that there is this kind of clarity, this kind of realization, this kind of seeing through things and being able to kind of leave all that behind come October. A sense of, yeah, just kind of freedom, this sense of a lightness and escape, maybe. So as we move into November, we find the Emperor card yet again. This is Zeus. This is the top dog, top god. Also relates to Jupiter, which is very much about kind of, Jupiter is bountiful energy. It's the energy of optimism, joy, receiving. Sometimes it can be things that aren't always what's as fulfilling, shall we say, or satisfying as we think they're going to be. They can also be this kind of exaggeration with the Emperor energy as well. But he holds this kind of, he holds the world in his hand, and he like the lightning always for me represents kind of sudden unexpected change, and also kind of realizations of things as well, which I think is what's coming in here as well with this card here. Clarity, realization. I think that's what this is about. It's about realizing your own power within this, within all this situation, and within the story of your life as well. It can also be to do with the father figure, and you have the Emperor twice. It is very masculine energy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's just to do with a man. You can also have very masculine energy within women. But the masculine energy kind of represents the doing, the active, the action, the bringing it into the physical realm. And that's what I think this card is saying here. And it's come out, interestingly enough, with the High Priestess. So it's also very kind of masculine and feminine. There is something here about kind of trusting the inner intuitive world. Emperor and the High Priestess, sorry, the High Priestess. Well, the High Priestess talks about the inner realm. It's very much kind of energy of Neptune. The dream world, the intuitive world, the unseen, the realm within which things kind of happen before they become physical on some level as well. Because the Emperor to me is very much the physical. It's very concrete. It's very kind of bringing things into this physical reality. Because that's what the driving masculine energy does. But if you have too much of this energy, it just becomes overpowering. It can become warlike and aggressive and demanding, and so there is this need here to kind of temper it, if you like, with, I think it's kind of saying, don't forget this, Aquarius. Don't forget that you also have this world. As much as you're in the physical world, and maybe this is what this is talking about. Maybe this is talking about you being very much within the physical realm of kind of making and manifesting things and bringing things into your reality. It's very much about the real world, whereas this is much more about your dream world. And it's kind of saying, take note of your dream world as well. Don't ignore this. These are two powerful energies together. Very powerful energies together. Working with the inner realm as well as the outer realm. And using your inner realm to work in your physical realm. Yeah. Not just allowing this to be your world, if you like, to kind of balance the two out and have them both working for you together, your inner realm and your outer realm, balanced, seeing, trusting, instinct, knowing, seeing beyond the normal. So when you get feelings about somebody, you trust those feelings. When you kind of pick up on things that other people don't pick up on, which can be body language or just kind of picking up on, just feeling that something isn't right or something is really right, just knowing it, just understanding it, just kind of really accepting this as a part of yourself, Aquarius, and kind of marrying the two together. That's what I think the message is for you here, is kind of bringing these two energies together into the physical realm. And as we move from November into December, we have the Eight of Cups. I don't know why I wanted to say Pentacles, but I did for some bizarre reason. 8 of Cups, which talks to me about a situation of having to, because it's in reverse, so I feel as though it's having to walk away and leave something behind as you get to the end of the year. And I think that's got something to do with this as well. I think that this is going to play a part within that, because it's kind of you realizing things, seeing things differently, understanding things differently, and it's going to lead you into this kind of realm of search within. Again, I feel for you, Aquarius, that there is going to be a lot of this in your life this year, a lot of kind of inner searching, inner resolving of issues, the inner world, working with the inner world in general. I just get this really strong sense. You've got the Hermit, you've got the kind of energies that just the energies in general just seem to me very kind of inner, watery, psychic, even knowing energies, this kind of realm of this kind of going down, all these cups here representing situations that you're having to walk away from, things that are no longer working for you, so you're having to walk away from this situation. But you're walking down into the underworld to kind of find your sense of self. And I think that this is what this is about as well. So I took around the wrong way. And there's the last card that came out with this. In December, of course, when we get to the end of the year, we can be quite kind of nostalgic and kind of what's upside down, looking for something within ourselves, looking back over the year, but I don't feel that that's so much about this. Although you do, on the 21st of December of this year, we do have Jupiter and Saturn finally conjuncting at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So this could have something to do with that as well for you Aquarius. Saturn also being one of your rulers, ruled by Saturn and Uranus. And the card that came out with this, the 7 of Cups, 7 of Water. So you've got the 7 and the 8 here. But I feel that this, because this is the first card, that this is you going down into the underworld. This is you being dissatisfied. This is you going in saying, what is it that I really am seeking here? What am I seeking? Because I think that's what this is about, this energy. This is big energy. Big energy. 2 major arcana cards in November. Big energy here. And just this feeling of coming out of being in the underworld and kind of maybe suddenly feeling that you've found... Sorry, I'm just going to... see if I can do something with this lighting. That's a bit better. Oh, that's better. A bit glary on my face, but yeah, suddenly found this... because here she's kind of looking up and there's all this stuff that's whirling around, and it's kind of, I just get the feeling that there's a sense of now I can decide, now I know what I want, I have so much choice. And this is 8 and then 7 rather than 7 then 8, so it's kind of you coming out of this energy, this Eight of Cups energy of having walked away, having looked inner, having really gone down into the depths of your own psyche, which is why psyche is particularly used for this, for the cups, because our emotions are kind of what drives us a lot of the time. And this is a very emotional card as well. This is a very emotional card. High Priestess is very much to do with our emotions. Our inner realm is all emotional, really. Emotionally driven, our subconscious. And here, there is all these beautiful experiences, and I think that's what this is about. This is about experiences. This is saying, oh, okay, so what do I want to experience next? What do I want to start looking at next? What do I want to start enjoying, having fun with, and just really allowing my life to kind of open up in a new way as we move into 2021 at the end of this year. So I feel that that's what's coming at the end of your year here, Aquarius, is this kind of finally reaching a point where you are more satisfied with who you are and really looking around you. Really looking around you to see where it is that you want to go next. What is it you want to experience? I think that's really the main key to this, is what do I want to experience next after having experienced this energy of really clearing things out as well. I get a really strong sense of clearing things out this year. That's what it's about for you, is clearing out. Clearing out your closet, your inner closet, unpacking. And kind of looking beyond this frozen stage. This place being kind of frozen in time. So, Aquarius, that's where I'm going to finish this reading. I hope it has been of some help and of some benefit to you. If you like my video, please can you thumbs it up for me, because it also helps it to get out into the bigger YouTube world of videos. And also, could you tap the bell so that you can get future readings, because I will be putting more readings out this year. And also subscribe to my channel, because I would really, really, really like to grow this channel. It's partly my aim for this year, is to expand my subscriptions and really kind of get my channel out there. Also, if you think anybody else would benefit from this reading, any Aquarians that you know, or anybody who's got Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus Aquarius, because that's what this reading is for, all of you with Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. If you don't know where your placements are, I will put a link in the description box down below, a free natal chart that you can go and look that up for yourselves and maybe kind of find out a little bit more about what's going on astrologically as well. And so hopefully I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching and take care.